Well, good afternoon. So, I haven't done this in a dog's age, but I'm going to try to record. It's just me, but I'm going to try to record how I do my kratom when I boil it. So, it's the same process. So, how I make my tea would be the exact same process, except I boil it on the stove instead of letting it steep just on the counter. So, pardon me while I completely screw up 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Oh. Boy, do I make a mess when I do just about anything. All right, so 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I probably could have just thrown that in the pot. Y'all didn't need to see me measure out 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. For this, you could probably even add more. I don't add a lot of the lemon. And then this is not super kratom. I've talked about super kratom that has a little more alkaloids in it. So this is going to be 2 heaping teaspoons. So these are just teaspoons. Just a regular teaspoon. Right? And so what I'll do is, it's about the same amount that I do on my regular kratom. Here I have some left over. So that's the jar I use. It's about 1.5 liters, a 1.5 quart jar, mason jar. And as you can see, the boiled kratom has a darker color to it. And I'm doing that for 2 reasons. You get more in less, so you don't have to drink as much of the kratom. And it's also helpful when you're dealing with trouble, right? You're dealing with flares and major pain. So as I said, I'll do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, or lime if you want to be fancy. 2 teaspoons of the kratom. I'll do 2 not quite so heaping teaspoons of my super kratom and 2 very heaping teaspoons of the not. And then I will just top it up with boiling water. That way I don't have to wait as long for it to come to a boil. You fill it up. I fill it up a little bit more because you're going to lose water to evaporation, the tea, right? Because I want about 1 liter. I'll end up getting about 1 liter from this pot because it's going to end up being down to about here when we're done. But yeah, that's about it. I keep a chopstick specifically just to stir my kratom because it'll stain the chopstick. And I like using the chopstick. That way I don't smash a jar. I've had that happen before and that was no fun. But yeah, so I'll just let that boil. Just depends. I'll usually boil it till I see that everything seems thoroughly mixed. You'll see it about 10 minutes, depending on the altitude you're at and the temperature, the weather, the kratom, the water, all that jazz. But 10 minutes, ish. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little less. This is what you're going to play with, right? Because you don't want to bother boiling it longer than you need to. And part of this is, right, I've put the hot water on top, so it's steeping already. And then we bring it back up to a boil. So keep it at the highest temperature possible. Extract as much of these water-soluble compounds, alkaloids, and then Bob's your uncle. So that's about all I'll do. Right? So what I'll do is I'll boil this, like I said, for about 10 minutes. Then when it's done, I'll let it sit and cool. Usually just let it sit on the stove till morning. I usually do this at night. So this one here I'll leave probably till evening before I'll touch it. Let it cool. And after you boil this, the kratom plant material actually comes out of dissolution or whatever, and it settles to the bottom. Right? So I don't even have to put it in the fridge. After letting it sit for 12 hours or overnight or so, I'm able to pour off almost all the liquor, leaving just about all the plant material behind. I waste almost no liquid in the bottom of the pot. But as I said, If you need to get rid of more of the plant material, just put it in the fridge. The chilling of the kratom liquid actually makes all that settle to the bottom. Because again, we've talked about this. You want the compounds, but you don't want some of the stuff that's in the plant material that can give you eye wobbles and irritability, shaking, all that jazz. So after years and years and years of doing this, either as a tea, steeped, or boiled, either way, I don't consume the plant material, and it's helped me get off of opiates. It's helped me get off of almost just about everything, and helped me get healthy. So I hope that shares my process. I know I went a little long, but hopefully it's everything you need to know.